Welcome to the show. Cletus Ray's Roadside Service. I got to do each of my intros a little bit different. So when I go back through and see if I've edited them, I can just listen to the first beginning and be. If I do the same exact beginning every time, I'll start putting up episodes twice or not at all. I'll fuck it up. So, anyways, there's a little bit of a different intro for future me when I go into the editing app. Welcome to the show, Cletus Ray's Roadside Service. It's still Friday. I didn't think I was going to record another episode, but here I am. Not a whole lot going on, but one little quick interesting thing was I drove all the way up here to Des Moines, and I haven't done this route in so long. I totally forgot if I needed paperwork or not, and I thought I did, but I didn't. I don't know. Nothing crazy going on there. But I got all the way up here, and I get signed in, and everybody's like, "Oh man, the other guy would get here he'd be here right at 7." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning to come here for no fucking reason." They're like, okay, I mean, I'm just saying the other guy was here way earlier. I'm like, good for him. Guess what? He got fired. Okay, he's fired. He's gone. And then I get in. I get to the lady that she would normally load my truck, but she had somebody else doing it. I don't know if he was a trainee or what he was. I don't know. But she said she had a stroke at some point in time, so her forklifting privileges are gone, I guess. I don't know. I don't know her whole situation. But, yeah, how about some fucking cold air? It's warm up here in Des Moines. What are we at? 74 degrees. Come on, get the air going. Where's the air at? Make it come out the vent. There we go. All right. Oh, it's dusty. Oh, God, it's in my eyeballs. She's like, I'm so glad you're back. I was like, oh, that other guy didn't do so good? She's like, he was a real asshole. I was like, really? She's like, yeah, dude. And so before this, the reason I'm doing this job today and for the next week is because they decided to fire the guy that was doing this route. And this guy, me and him, I don't remember when he got hired on. It wasn't too long ago. But he got hired on. We had one guy doing this route. He complained that he was having breathing issues after doing this job. I did this job for like a year, and I never had any breathing problems other than my normal breathing problems because I'm kind of overweight and I breathe heavy, and I'm pretty sure I need nasal surgery so I could breathe better. But, anyways, I'm always out of breath. Just a fat guy thing for all you skinnies out there. Anyways, the guy the guy that I trained how to do this job, and I did tell him, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to show you how I do the job, but if you want to do it totally different, if you want to change the way you do it differently. I don't really give a shit. But I can only train you on the way that I do it. And it's really fucking simple. They put shit in your trailer, and then you got to dump the shit out of your trailer. It's really fucking simple. But anyways, he would do it totally different. And the way he would do it is he would set the totes on the back end of the trailer. It's a dry van trailer. So you open up both doors, and then you grab a tote. It's a 4x4 tote. You set it at the end of the trailer. They have about 250 to 300 gallons in each tote. And they got a big cap on the top, and you got to unscrew the cap just so they don't pop. You know, the guys at the dump, they'd rather them just have a drain hole. So you take the cap off, throw the cap in the hole, and then he did it different than I did it. The way he would do it is he'd just set it on the edge of the trailer, and then they would reach in with the bucket on the excavator, push down on it, and then scoop it out of the trailer. Now, doing that, whenever you push, like grab a water bottle and just open the cap and squeeze it. What's going to happen there? I mean, you're going to squirt water everywhere. And that's the same fucking thing that would happen to these totes. And so I think that might be the reason he was having breathing issues, because he kept dumping all this. It's rinse water. It's non-hazardous, but it is rinse water from something. I don't know. It's rinse water from multiple places, and they take it all the way up here in Des Moines is where they kind of bulk it out. They test it and then they send it. But anyways, it's usually not a. Some of them kind of smell like ammonia a little bit, but I don't know. Anyways, he started complaining about breathing issues. So then they got this other guy up there, and he was showing them how he did it, and then he said, I'm going to do it totally different. And this is the guy that got fired. He would have a tote, and you're inside of a dry van on a slight angle. That's just so, people can dump on the ground, and everything will run into the pit. So he's at a slight angle in a dry van. He grabs a tote, and he runs at the back of the trailer with the tote on the pallet jack, and then right when he gets to a certain spot, he lowers the pallet jack, but he's still moving, lowers the pallet jack, and the tote slides out the back of the truck. And as it slides out of the back of the truck, he stops and pulls on the pallet jack to keep the pallet jack from going with the tote. I have a lot of problems with the way he was doing it, and I brought it up to his attention twice. I told him, don't do it that way. You're going to blow your shoulders out. You're going to lose the pallet jack. Something is going to, it's not going to go good. And that's whenever me and him were at the landfill at the same time talking to the guy at the landfill, and we asked him, which way is better? I thought my way was better. The guy at the landfill really doesn't give a shit as long as the shit comes out. He says, the way that the guy that got fired, the way he does it is faster. So that the guy automatically thought he won. But he's like, but if you lose that pallet jack in the fucking hole, my way's faster. Because then they got to get in the fucking pit and get this pallet jack out and get it all cleaned off, get it back into the truck, and then continue. And I'm like, that's a fucking dumbass way. And I've explained it several times on the podcast about how I do it. Yeah, I open up the door, I back up, I have a certain spot where I back up to. I stop, I get out, I open up the doors, I hop up in there, I undo my strap, and then I grab my pallet jack, I jack up the first tote, and this is what I'm about to go do. But jack up the first tote, swinging it around. I have 8 feet of empty trailer before the totes. So, and that's on purpose because I need 8 feet to get the pallet jack turned around and get the tote towards the back of the trailer. Set it down, take off the cap, and I shove that one out by hand. These are heavy fucking totes, but whenever they're metal frame totes, so, and then it's a diamond plate flooring on the last 2 feet of the trailer. You can push it, you can slide it. It's heavy, but you can do it. You just got to push this corner, push that corner, push this corner, push the other corner, and eventually it will slide and fall out of the trailer. And since I take the cap off the top and I play Frisbee with it, I throw it at the operator or whatever. When it falls out of the trailer, it lands perfectly on its side and it starts draining liquid straight into the pit. Not at no point of time is liquid going to get splashed or, inside the trailer, really. I mean, there has been a couple of times, but that's only with totes that are probably over full that you'll get a splash and it'll come right out the lid, but it's usually not much. By the time it's splashing, it's already out of the trailer. So anyways, Push that tote out, and then I grab another tote, and I set that tote on the edge of the trailer. I grab another tote, turn it around, and I ram the other tote that's on the edge of the trailer, and it shoves that tote out, and then all the momentum from the tote that's on my pallet jack is lost. It all, whenever I ram that one, it stops. That one goes. I set this one down. I grab another one, and then I ram it, and it just pushes it out, and I can go pretty fucking quick doing it that way. Most of the time, when I do it that way, I'm waiting for the operator to move a tote out of the way. Now, if I ever, for some odd reason, but with the method I do it, there's no chance I'm going to lose the pallet jack out of the back of the trailer. But let's say that does happen. There's a tote on the outside of the trailer that's right at deck height. So if I did have a tote try to roll off the edge of the trailer, it would stop on that other tote and it wouldn't go in the pit. I would have no problems. Anyways, and then all the way down to the last tote. And the last tote, yeah, you slam it into the one tote, the other tote flies out. You set that tote down, and then you gotta push it out by hand. It's not a big deal. And also, you got to know how to run a pallet jack. I mean, it sounds funny, but you got to know how to run a pallet jack in a tight space. Because and also on a slant, because whenever you use the side of the trailer to kind of slow down these totes. Because whenever I pick it up, as soon as it lifts off the ground, it's going to start rolling. And you just run along the side of the trailer, and they're heavy. They're hard to stop. You have to, if you're trying to stop it with your body weight, it's gonna take a while. But you run it along the side of the trailer. You can stop it. You can turn those pallet jacks. You can oversteer those pallet jacks, so where it'll do a tighter turn than normal. Then it'll do a tighter turn than a 360 or whatever. I don't know. It does a 360, but you don't have to swing it wide or anything. Anyways, you got to be able to do that. And this guy was just a big fucking asshole. He lost the pallet jack several times into the pit. And I had heard the landfill guy called me one day. He's like, hey, did that old dipshit fucking tell you he lost the pallet jack in the pit again? I was like, no. And then I show up to the shop and I see him. I'm like, how was the pit today? Fine. He doesn't say. He would never admit it. But he's like, yeah, he drops that fucking pallet jack in the pit all the fucking time. Because he does it a dumbass way. Fucking idiot. Anyways. Yeah, so the lady, she's like, I'm so glad you're back. Because that guy was a real asshole. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, he would bitch at the security office because he would have to wait in line sometimes, because other drivers, normally he would be first in line, but sometimes they got other shit going on. They would take care of somebody else first. He would get real pissed off at the security. He'd be like, oh, I've been here for however long. They don't open till 7. The dumbass is getting all the way up here to Des Moines, which, hey, he's a go-getter. He's waking up super fucking early. He's getting here on time, but he's getting here pretty much an hour and a half early every day. So for an hour and a half, he's just sitting up here in Des Moines, just waiting for them to open. I guess getting angry. Because they don't open till 7. The lady that loads him, or the guy that loads him, or whatever, they don't clock in till 7. And by the time after they clock in, they gotta go through and mark his load, and that takes like half an hour, and then it takes them a half hour to load him. And I don't know. I guess he would bitch at them he would bitch at the security guys. He'd go roll around. He'd bitch at those people, tell them to hurry up and load him, blah, blah, blah. And then I guess one day, I don't know if it was either they were blocking the dock door that he needed to go to, because they have multiple different people coming in this place, but they have tankers that pull up, and they have a loading slash offloading area that's right in front of the dock door that we need to use. And um, so I don't know if he was already in his dock door and he got blocked in, or if they were in there blocking the dock door already. And I've had that happen. I've had to sit and wait. I mean, it doesn't. You're not going to run out of hours doing this job. So I don't know. And I guess maybe if you're sitting for an hour and a half waiting for them to open up, I guess it could take. You could run out of hours potentially, but this dude was such a fucking freak. He would get in there, he'd bitch at them, tell them to hurry up, load it, blah blah blah, and then and I'm hearing all this from the lady, and then the guy that was loading me, he stopped. He had the last two totes, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to go ahead and do your strap thing or whatever?" I'm like, "Huh?" I was like, "No, I don't want to strap it until I get everything in the trailer." He's like, "Well, the other guy." I'm like, "Hey, I ain't the other guy. The other guy I'm hearing for the first time, he's a fucking dipshit asshole over here." I was like, "No, you put it on the trailer, however you want to put it on the trailer, as long as they're side by side or whatever, because the totes are like 4 foot, a little less than 4 foot wide, so you can leave a walkway gap all the way down the trailer, or they can keep them close, next to each other, and you can have a gap on either side, but." No, it doesn't bother me. Like, just put them on there. They're not going to move. They're big, heavy fucking toes. They are not going to move at all. Just put them on there. The strap that I put on is mainly for show and to keep my pallet jack from rolling around. Man, I got a cough, don't I? But he was like, yeah, that other guy would yell at me because, one time I put all the totes on there, and then he yelled at me and made me unload the tote so he could put his strap on and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that dude's a dumbass. Don't worry about it. He's gone. They said that he was over here taking pictures of their facility. He kept bitching at them. Oh, the tanker trailers, I guess he got into a big heated argument with the guys that run the tankers, cussing them out and everything. And I don't know. He was just a real shithead that I would have never really realized. I knew that he didn't like me. He doesn't believe, he doesn't like, I mean, I tell stories all the time, and I'm just a silly guy. I don't take much super seriously. Usually if I'm around other people, I'm trying to make them laugh or something. But he would just think I'm a dumbass, which is, I guess, makes sense, but he's like, no, he's a stupid dumbass. He shouldn't even work here or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly how he felt about me. But I had heard several times he did not like me. He said that I'm a slob. I leave trash in the trucks all the time. Every truck that I drive, I leave trash in. I'm like, Liz, I think you got the wrong guy, because I clean my trash and other people's trash out of fucking trucks. I usually have a sack, and I load it. Whenever I go fuel up my truck, at the end of the day, I always throw all the trash in that trash can. I clean my trucks out. Like, I don't leave anything in the truck. Usually, if anything, I do more organization. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe one time I did. I accidentally left a spitter in a truck or something. I don't know. But he did not like me from that point forward. And I don't give a shit. But it's really funny. If there's somebody at my work that I kind of have a problem with or I don't really like, it's so funny because I never go to the boss and bitch about people. I'm never going to be one trying to get somebody else fired. This guy, even though he's probably the guy that he's had problems with me. I don't really have problems with him. I just think he's kind of funny looking. He got a big old gap tooth, and his gums are thick as shit right there in between the gaps, so it looks like he has 3 teeth. It's kind of fucking weird. He's a fucking it's a sight to see, boys. But that's just how he looks. People look funny all the time, and they can still be cool people. I didn't have any problems with him. Apparently, he had problems with me. But whenever I did the employee review thing, where you got to rate people so people can get a bonus, was I going to sit there and give him a 0? Was I going to give him a 9? Was I what? No, I gave him a 10. I gave every single person a 10. I don't want to be the deciding factor on whether somebody's going to get an extra, $250 to $500 bonus. I'm not that guy. I'm not the decider on how much you make here. I think everybody deserves to make more. I think everybody deserves to have a bonus or a raise. That's not me. I'm just a fucking guy that works here. I don't know why I have to vote on people and potentially bring their score down. So I already know that a lot of other people just give out 10s to everybody, or they only vote on people that they have actually worked with. I go through everybody. Every single name on that list gets a 10. It takes a little longer, but I just give everybody a 10, I have a feeling he was not giving me a high score. If he was upset with me about some trash in a truck or whatever, I highly doubt he was giving me a 10. So I don't know. I feel like I get along with everybody else. I don't think I have a problem. I think everybody likes me. Nobody else is really a problem. There are a couple of people that think they're the smartest fucking guy in the world, but hey, they can think that. That's fine. Hey, think of yourself in a high manner. That's fine. Um, but I don't think they're rating me a 4 or whatever. But I just have a feeling this guy was rating me pretty fucking low. I don't know, but whatever. I don't want to blame my low score on him. I don't work with people all that often. I think the people that are working in crews all the time and supervisors and people in the office, I don't the only time that we're all together, and not even all of us, because some of us have to do early shit on Monday, is the Monday meetings. And I'm one of those guys that rarely is ever at the Monday meeting because I'm hitting the road, I'm out, gone. you know, I'm already at work. I've already been driving a truck or whatever. I don't go to the Monday meetings. I have gone to the last 2, but it's looking like I'm going to start not going to them again because I'm going to have early jobs every day, especially on Mondays, which is fine. But if we got people that don't know me, that's going to be less ratings I'm going to get because I'm always by myself. Except for yesterday, but I did bitch quite a bit about shaving. So I guess that could be where somebody puts me down as a 9. He's a complainer. Yeah, I had to shave my fucking face. My beard was beautiful. And I had to shave it off Thursday morning at 5 a.m. Fucking sucked. Yeah, so I don't know. I talked to the boss a little bit. I was like, hey, funny story about the guy you fired today. they were having problems with him, and that she kind of basically said, yeah, he's been a problem for a while. You know, a lot of. She's like, what I'll say is, client relations was a problem. I'm like, okay, well that makes sense then. That makes a lot of sense because he just thought he was hot shit. And he could fucking cuss out people and yell at people and tell people to hurry up and everything. And yeah, we're not really like that, you know, around here. We're not. We show up and we ask what you need done and we do it. You know, we don't. We might bitch to each other about jobs, but we're never going to go to a client and bitch at them about anything. Like, we are hauling their waste. They decided to use us as a hauler, and then whenever our fucking idiot, gap-toothed, dumbass motherfucker shows up and starts cussing them out and cussing out their clients and their personnel and shit, it looks pretty bad. They're like, well, maybe we'll go with somebody else. You know, that there are other shippers that would probably do it cheaper, you know, but they like that they can rely on us to do this job. And but if they're gonna have, you know, some angry, gap-toothed, dumb bitch show up and cuss them out every day, you know, maybe they'll go with somebody else. And it made it up to high-end management at this place, apparently. You know, because they had to report that he was in there taking pictures of their facility and their sensitive areas and stuff. I don't know why he was doing that, but I don't know what he could do. Oh, and then the other thing that was fucking. She's like, yeah, he would go through and he would get really mad if I ever loaded a half tote on him. I'm like, why? She's like, I don't know. He would say it's a waste of a trip if he's only gonna haul half totes. I'm like, waste of a trip? I was like, if you loaded this fucking thing up with empty totes, I'd still show up and take it. Like, who gives a fuck what's on the truck or how much you're taking? You're making the same amount of money every day you do this. You know, it's what are you talking about? How are you going to be pissed off you're not hauling to your full potential, you know? Who gives a fuck? We don't get paid by the load. We get paid by the hour. He gets paid the same to take a shit, to uh, load up a full tote or load up a half tote or load up an empty tote. He gets paid the fucking same. I don't know what his deal was with doing that, but she's like, yeah, he would get real hot on it. And then he would tell us, oh, you're overfilling the totes. So then we started, you know, making sure we were leaving a few inches lower in the totes and stuff. I'm like, all right, well, all that's done now. I was like, that guy's gone. You don't have to worry about him anymore. There's zero chance you'll ever see him again. Um, just load the totes up the way you want to load them up, and I'll show up and I'll take them. You know, but I did tell him, I was like, hey, but I will tell you, I know you got used to him being here at 7 a.m. every single day, so I don't know if that is how you are kind of structuring your day, but I'm not that guy. You got the wrong guy. I'm not going to show up here at 6 or 7, 8, or 9 a.m. I'll be here at like 9:30 to 10 o'clock every day, maybe even 10:30. 10:30 at the latest, honestly. Um, so if you got used to him being your first load and you know you were putting other stuff off, don't do that anymore because I will not be showing up as early as that fucking dumbass. She's like, yeah, I thought he lived like right around here or something because he would show up really early. I'm like, no, he lives. I don't know where he lives, but he lives down in near Kansas City somewhere, and he wakes up at 2 a.m. and drives up here, and then just ready to fucking bitch at somebody for not hurrying up when he's been sitting around for an hour and a half, and he knows He knows 100% that they don't start loading him till a certain time. So why would he show up any earlier than that? I don't know. Honestly, that would be something where it's like, oh, but yeah, if somebody tells you, okay, be here at 7 a.m. and you get there at 5 a.m. every single day and you're billing our company or billing the customer for 2 hours of doing nothing every single day, that could be a problem. They'd be like, you are milking the clock. I know you're milking it kind of in a weird way. You're showing up way fucking early, but that's 2 hours of pay that they're paying you every single day, 10 hours a week at minimum, because it's usually an hour and a half, that you're doing absolutely nothing. Like, there's no justification for that at all. It is nice having him there at the same exact time every single day, probably, but I think they would appreciate somebody being nice and not, rather nice and charging less. I think is probably higher on their chart than having some fucking dumbass get there early as fuck every day. I don't know. But I did talk to another guy at work because he was the one kind of giving me a little bit of information about the whole situation too. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about asking for that job." And I'm like, not for next week. I'll tell you that. I'm doing this next week. I was like, until my fucking power plant job shows up, do not plan on doing this job, okay? Because I will enjoy this. Uh, I don't mind. It's driving. I like driving. This is cool. I mean, it's only like 7 hours of driving, but it's way better than doing shit around the shop. Put me on the road, bud. Oh, and I had my employee performance review or whatever yesterday. I came in, I had sewage on me, and I had shaved. And they were like, "Oh God, you stink," And they are, the people that didn't make me shave are kind of making fun of it and whatever, because I'm a funny guy. Honestly, I mean, I am upset that I had to shave, but it's also kind of funny. But I'm probably more upset than funny, but I can't not be funny. I can't not be joking around with shit. So they were joking around with me. They're like, "Oh fuck, you're fat. You gotta fucking." You look way fatter with no beard, which is usually opposite or whatever. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, I look like a fucking idiot when I shave my face. Not happy about it. Anyways, I said, "You're doing a performance review right now." They're like, "You stink." I'm like, "I don't give a shit. You're going to go in there and you're going to give me my performance review. You made me fucking get covered in shit and shave my face. This is a good time. I'm a little fired up. I think this is a good time for you to get my actual opinion on some shit." Okay, because normally I'd go in there and be like, "Yeah, everything's cool." No, I went in there. I said, first off, this is some bullshit that you're on the job listing for this job that I get notified for because I fit the criteria. That it's on there. It says that you can make $100,000 a year and $30 an hour, and I've worked here for 4 years, and I've yet to hit $30 an hour, and I've yet to hit 100,000 a year. That's fucking bullshit. Like, that's super. I'm. It's honestly nuts that I've put up with it as long as I have. But I'm also not a very good negotiator. Um, and anyways, so he's like, "Oh yeah, that's crazy, yeah," because this guy used to run the Colorado branch. He's like, "I can tell you that we have hired people at $30 an hour in Colorado." I'm like, "What?" He's like, but since I've been here in Kansas City, I know for a fact we have not hired anybody at $30 an hour. No matter how much experience they have, they're not going to pay them $30 an hour starting out. I'm like, okay, but they're probably paying them maybe what the fuck I'm making right now, which is fucking crazy. Which this has happened at several different jobs that I've had. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. First one was the lumber yard. I worked at the lumber yard for a while. I was like hoping to get I was low paid, but I think it was like $15 an hour, and I found out that I was training people, and they were getting paid $16 an hour, and I eventually quit that job. I mean, I took it to the bosses several times, said, "Yo, I want to make more money, blah blah blah. I'm training people. I've worked in every single department. I don't know what more I can do to make more money, but it's a big fucking slap in the face when you're hiring people for $1 more an hour that I'm training. I'm training this guy, and he's making more than me. That is fucking bullshit." And well, at the lumber company, they got real upset because they did not want any of the employees talking about wages with one another. And I don't know. I probably could have had a case there. I was definitely, I don't know if oppressed or whatever. I was definitely singled out and punished for talking about my wages. They refused to give me a raise. So I quit. I fucking walked out of that place. And what did they have? They didn't even try to keep me. They just said bye. And I was wondering, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe they wanted to get rid of me or something like that, even though I have no idea why, because I was the only one loading trucks half the fucking time. I was just a real big pushover, and they just knew they could get away with it. And then whenever I was ready to quit, maybe they didn't believe me, but I fucking quit. I just walked out one day. And I thought maybe they were trying to get rid of me. They didn't like me, blah blah blah. I don't know. Well, it was years later, the same boss that said bye to me, he called me offering me a job. So obviously what I thought was wrong, because they wanted me back, and then they actually started paying me a decent wage. That was after I got my CDL and became a driver. And I was like, I'll come back, but I ain't running no fucking forklift for you fucks. Even though I love running a forklift and I'm the world's best forklift operator, I ain't not running a forklift for you fucking guys no more. I ain't pulling orders. I ain't fucking running a forklift. I'm driving a truck. You understand that, right? I'm a truck driver. I'm going to hire on as a truck driver, and I'm going to do the truck driver things. I'm not doing all that other bullshit. Anyways, am I in the same situation again? I don't know. I'm the more the time goes on, and the more I've talked with people and management and whatnot, the more it's looking like they think I'm a pushover. But just my situation now is a lot more intense because back then I didn't have a family. I didn't have anything. Damn. And I was actually making, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I was able to save up and pay my bills and buy things that I wanted and everything. And I'm able to kind of do that now, not really, but I can't just walk away from my job right now. I got to find something else if I wanted to, but and I guess I might be getting a little personal here, but he's like, so I was like, so I need a raise. This is what I need, during my performance review. He's like, okay, well, what kind of, he's like, I personally can't give you a raise, but I can talk to management about it. I said, I would feel comfortable at 34. I think that's where I should be after working here for 4 years. Just think about it. I've worked here for 4 years. If you say you're going to hire a guy at 30, let's just say you hired me at 30 and I've gotten $1 an hour raise every year. Put me at 34. That's where I think is fair. Is it enough? No, it's not going to be enough. I'll never make enough money to do every single thing that I want to do, but it would definitely, more money would definitely help out, especially me being a single income household, and I live in a house. It's like an actual house. I don't live in an apartment. I own a real house. I have to pay for that. I have real cars. My wife got a new car, obviously, and I mean we only have one nice car, but you know, all my other shit's paid for, but I can't afford a fucking car payment, And even though I would never, I'm not going for another car payment. I ain't going for another bullshit like that. No fucking way. I mean, I'll take out smaller loans, but I'm never gonna take out another fucking loan like that. That's fucking crazy. Especially to have two car payments. That's almost more than my fucking house payment is what that would be. So anyways, I'm like, and this guy, he doesn't really know me so very well, but he's been around for a little bit, and I think he's working on becoming, or he is, I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but like, bro, I'm the only income for my household. Like, I'm not trying. That's the other thing. It's like, I don't know what you guys think I deserve or whatever, but I'm not gonna, no matter what number you give me for a raise, I'm not gonna be a rich guy. Is that what you're worried about? You're worried about me making too much money? I don't know what it is. Obviously, your best interest is to keep, costs as low as possible. I mean, sure, you can say, "Oh, I'd love to pay you $1,000 an hour," but I just can't do that. Okay, well, listen, I'm not trying to get rich here. I'm just trying to survive, motherfucker. If you guys don't give me a raise that's gonna, be fair, obviously I'm gonna start looking somewhere else. No matter how much I like the job, I'm gonna have to go somewhere else. And things have not gotten cheaper. Nothing has gotten cheaper. Everything has gotten more expensive. Groceries, gas. Well, I guess gas. Gas is a weird one, but I mean, I can use this as an argument, even though it's completely a lie. I ride a dirt bike to fucking work just to have enough money for gas to come here every day. That's a lie. I love riding the dirt bike. I choose to ride the dirt bike. I don't want to drive anything else. Um, but I also, through the wintertime and the really cold months where I do drive the truck every day, we do have we're it's a combination of making less money, because less hours or whatever, and spending way more on gas, twice as much on gas. Um, because the truck, it costs $10 to drive it to work and back. I mean, at the whatever, how much gas is or whatever, but that's $50 a week, $200 a month, that I gotta pay. And if I ride the bike, it's $100 or less. Uh, so, I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I ride that for the economic benefit and the joy benefit. I look forward to getting off work and riding that motherfucker home. I'm ready to ride that bitch home today. Um, Now, I talked about tires. I mean, I'm switching gears here now. I'm talking about dirt bike stuff. Called up. There's a shop there near my house that they will mount some tires. So talked to them. They said Saturday morning. Come in Saturday morning, try it out. So I have work Saturday night. Gotta go do confined space rescue, where I just kind of hang out and watch a guy get in a pit. Nothing crazy. Watch him go in there and clean shit up, and then he'll come back out, and we'll be good, and we'll go home. So that's Saturday night. I'll go in at 5. I'll get off at, I don't know. I could get off at fucking 9 p.m. I could get off at midnight. I could get off at 2 a.m. You know, it just, I don't know. It's kind of a wait and see situation. Sometimes we'll go out there, we'll sit for 4 hours, and they won't do anything, and then we go home. But I got until 5 o'clock tomorrow to do whatever the fuck I want, and I think I can get my tires mounted and get those put on the bike, and then the bike will be nearly complete. You know, just the muffler and the starter motor cover are the only other things I have for it at this moment. But now that I'm getting close to that point, I'm going to start looking for other stuff that I want. Oh yeah, I can't help myself. I'm going to keep looking at some more shit to buy for the bike. I think handlebar guards are going to be or just hand guards are going to be one of the next things. And I haven't even I looked them up a while back, but I want to find some ones that have a really nice shield on them, because it is nice whenever it's cold out to have less air hit my fingers, even though I wear gloves. You know, it would be kind of cool. But most of those handlebar guards are not near as shielded as the ones I got. And I know they make those fucking weird ass gloves, or those fucking, I don't know what the fuck they are, but they slide over your handlebars and then you put your hands into them. And I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that. I just want the handlebar guards to have more of a shield to them. Okay? That's all I'm looking for. Just looking for a little bit more of a shield. And then windshield for the dirt bike. I don't know how tall the windshield really has to be. I don't know. Because I feel like with my old number plate, which I think is ugly, and I'm not going to put it back on, but it was more of a vertical, and I feel like I had less wind hitting my helmet when it was more of a flat piece. And now this new one is more angled, and I think it's letting more air go right into my face. So I'm wondering because I could buy a windshield, but then it's going to be super tall, and I don't know if I like it. I don't really like the look of a windshield, really. But if I might test it out, because I've got some plexiglass that I can heat up and bend and trim and drill holes in and mount, or double side tape or something to my fairing, my number plate. I'm wondering if I just put a little piece, I don't know, like 6 inches up, that's angled more forwards, if that's going to divert enough wind, and I'll actually notice a difference, because it would be kind of cool to have less wind hitting my face and my helmet. But I don't know. I've kind of gotten used to it also. So I don't know. If I'd rather just ride with no windshield, probably. But having a windshield would be kind of cool. It would be kind of cool to have like a little air bubble of no wind right where my body is. Now, in the summertime, I'm gonna need that taken off. Take that motherfucker off. I'm gonna want some air flowing through. Keep me cool. I love riding that bike with a t-shirt on in the hot weather. It's kind of nice, kind of really nice. And while you're riding, you can stick your legs out, and air will blow up your pant leg. Oof, tickles. Love it. But yeah, I don't know. So that's a thing. Headlight. Been thinking about a headlight more often. I just think all the LED headlights that are coming out for these look like fucking cheap ass bullshit, Halo wannabe motherfucking shits. So I don't know. Or they just have an ugly looking LED. Like I don't want it to look like an eBay bike or a Temu bike. I want it to look just nice. And the headlight honestly doesn't really bother me, but having it like a yellow glow to it makes it feel old because motorcycles have to have a headlight at all times. So that headlight, there's no way to turn it off other than just turning the whole bike off. Uh, it's a sealed beam, 4x6, and the cool thing about the 4x6 is that most Peterbilts use a 4x6. A lot of trucks, like a lot of things were designed for a 4x6. So there's a large variety of lights out there, but I think I'm going to buy a singular Peterbilt headlight. I guess I might have to get a new plug or something, but I feel like Peterbilts can have some nice headlights that aren't yellow. We actually have Kenworth that's got 4x6 headlights, and they're like LED or whatever. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know if I like the LED look. Just looks fucked with, Looks like, I don't know. And then, I don't know. I haven't looked up side panels in a while. I need to look up side panels, see if I can get new side panels, because these ones, they're white side panels that somebody painted them black over the stickers, and then I painted them white over the stickers, and then I used some old ass clear coat that I had laying around, and now they're yellowy. They look like a smoker's tooth, Um, so I might just swap out to new side panels, unless paint stripper doesn't really melt plastic. I don't know. I don't know how all that shit works. But if I could put paint stripper on there and strip it down to the original white, I mean that's what I need it to be. It's like a nice bright white. All my other plastics are nice like that. The rear fender is original, but it's still bright white, and those side panels are just like yellow looking. I had a lady yesterday. I was pulling through the stoplight headed home, and some kids in the back, and they were yelling at me. They're like, "Do a wheelie!" I was like, "Fuck no, 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 no! I ain't doing no wheelie. I ain't doing no wheelie." I felt bad, I'm like, poor kids, they want to see a wheelie. I did do a nice lean, like I leaned really far going around the corner off the highway, but so maybe that looked cool. I don't know. I felt like I was about to lay it over and fucking. I leaned really fucking far. That's the furthest that I've leaned on the bike since I put the new suspension on. I've still been just getting used to it, and also taking into account that I don't need to lean that far. But I'm not like a fucking street bike knee scraping or anything. I'm not doing that. But I am for just riding a dirt bike on the road. That's pretty far lean. Um, Man, I can't wait to get these new tires on there. It's going to change the whole thing. I just hope they last a little while. I hope they'll actually last a little bit riding a lot on the road. I don't, if I wear them out, riding on the road too much, I'm going to be a little upset. But I'm just going to need to make sure I go off-road more often now so I can use them while they're still good, because I am going to be doing a lot of road riding. But I think they'll be fine. A lot of people were saying that they love these tires because they do all right. They say the front one doesn't last, which I'm kind of shocked to hear that. You know, it's like the front tire goes bad, that back tire. So, and I think I know why my back tire is wearing quickly. A lot of the times when I'm downshifting, usually down to first, I mean, I'm skidding. You know, a downshift, you could feel it kind of skipping and whatnot. And I do that quite often. Not exactly on purpose. Maybe I'm a little too harsh on letting out the clutch, but I don't know. It's a cool way to slow down. I like doing that, and I think that's. I mean, that's not growing any tread. I know that it ain't growing tread, but I'm gonna be nice and easy on these newer tires. I'm gonna try to keep them as least worn as possible on the road. Um, Also, while I got the tires off and I got the sprockets off and everything, I'm gonna look at the extra sprockets that I got. I'm gonna see if I can gear it down a little bit. I hope the old sprockets that I have are smaller tooth. Uh, yeah, smaller tooth on the front, and I guess smaller tooth on the rear also. But yeah, bring that ratio down a little bit, but not much. I don't want to have to get a new fucking chain or take out a link or something. But yeah, loose. I don't need to go 100 miles an hour on a DR, especially when I get these off-road tires on there. Like, I think it'd be cool if I could like max speed. Like, you're not going any faster, even downhill. Would be like 85. I think that would be a decent spot, and that would probably help me out quite a bit. It would also save me some fuel. Maybe not. I don't know. But I usually will ride around 80, just because, and the bike is humming at 80. It's doing just fine. I still got another 15 miles an hour I can go. If I can get it to just hum at 70, and any more than that is like not quite good, you know. I'll start doing a lot slower speeds, but I'll still have that gearing that I can still whip it up to 85. You know, I still want to be able to go 85. I still want to be able to whip around traffic if I need to, but I don't need to be going 100 mile an hour. That's fucking insane. But I don't know. There's another episode out. Happy Friday, everybody. Um, I've looked at a couple of podcasts that have come out here recently. We got season 2 on Broken Wing Nuts and Backroad Friends. They just put out those 2 new episodes. I really enjoyed those episodes. They really got into some really interesting topics and whatnot. So go check that out. Those guys are awesome. Stevie V, Three Wheeled Bicycle Podcast. Go check him out. He's putting out new shit here and there. He's posting up on Facebook all the time. He's an interesting fellow. He's got some awesome artwork. Go to Vanderheiden Design to check it out. We got old Shane Has Tattoos over in Australia with the Zinger KFC chicken motherfucking things. And I think the KFC out here, they might have heard my podcast because they brought back some sort of a chicken wrap that I'm about to go get. But anyways, Shane Has Tattoos out there in Australia, throwing another shrimp on the barbie. He's out there driving around, having a good time. He's a really interesting fellow. Go listen to his stories. Watch his YouTube channel. That's where you'll find him, is on YouTube. Shane Has Tattoos, all one word. Go check him out. We got Walk Like a Mailman podcast. They're always putting out new shit. I love it. They're doing good. They have a very interesting show. It's like a real show. You know, they got segments they do every single time. They got all the little bells and whistles going off. I love listening to their show. And they're super engaged with their fans. So like if you write a comment about anything, you know, they'll mention it on the podcast. So I always appreciate that whenever they'll give you a little shout out or just listen to your comment. They listen to you. Who else do we got? We got a couple other ones. There's another one called Middle of the Road Podcast. They are always posting up some stuff. It's an interesting channel to go watch or listen to. I like them. I haven't ever talked to them, but I'd like to. Who else do we got? We got ADHP. Those guys. That's another real show. They got all different kinds of segments. They always set it up real nice. They got cool custom sound, or not sound, music, custom music made for their show. It's always a cool time to go over there and listen to those guys talk about this and that. What's the other one? Dad Dude. What is it called? I know it. I'm so sorry, Dude Dad. What is it? Where is it? What's Up, Dad? Podcast. I've been listening to them a lot lately. They always got some interesting stuff. Go check them out. I'm not going to leave out the Bartley Builds on YouTube. That's my buddy Luke. He has not put out a YouTube video for a very long time, but don't let that keep you from going over to his channel and checking him out. I think maybe if we can get more people to go over to his channel, subscribe, like, and look and comment, and whatnot, maybe he'll start putting out more shit for that. That's cool, but he's always having a good time. He's got a lot going on, but he's always working in his wood shop, making up a cutting board or making a chair, a dreidel. You know, he's not Jewish, but he makes dreidels, rolling pins, pencils. What else does he make? He makes all kinds of cool shit. And he's a craftsman, I'll tell you what. He's a real craftsman. Very, very lucky to have him as a good old buddy right there. Who else was I thinking about? I was thinking about somebody else and I totally forgot who it could be. JK's Rewatchable Hour. Go check him out. Jeff Welch filling up my feed. Nice to see him out and about, active, looking at stuff. Oh, God. NyQuil is sponsoring the podcast. Keeping me oversleeping every day. That's great. Love you, NyQuil. Keeping my kids asleep, too, because they wake up. They yelling at, Dad! Mom! Dad! All night long. It never stops. I mean, you go in there, you get them fixed up, and you set them down, and they're back up screaming. Most of the time, it's not because of them being sick. Most of the time, it's because, I thought I saw a spider. Hey, you know how you don't see spiders? Close your eyes. You won't see nothing. Dream about ponies and unicorns, baby. Quit opening your eyes. I thought I heard something moving in my room. It's your Furby. You got to lay it on its back. Okay? You can't be leaving your Furby standing up. If your Furby's standing up, it's awake. It's listening. It's transmitting. If you lay it on its back, it's it does that. It makes this weird sound. Furby, sponsor of the podcast. Adios. Keep all 18 down. Talk to you later. Bye bye.